Welcome, everybody, to Mr. Mikhail's Manor of Mischief, Magic, and Mystery. I am your host, Andrew Mikhail. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the 6M Podcast. The 6M Podcast for short, for the lazy, or just, the people that want, the easy way out, right? I hope you guys enjoyed the previous episodes. If not, I'll do better. I promise. But, hey, it's really fucking cold in here, so I hope you guys don't mind if you can hear the space heater in the back. Being that this podcast is recorded in the suburbs of Chicago. Yeah, I had to say the suburbs of Chicago because all the people living in Chicago, much love to them. Also, I used to be a Chicagoan, but, they get their panties tied up and then fucking not if you say you live in Chicago and you don't. But I don't even remember what I was saying. I'm fucking flying high right now. We are rolling. We're fucking rolling. It's cold, and 100% some asshole is going to say, it's not cold by me. Pretty warm. I'm in shorts and a shirt. Hey, I used to live in warm weather places too, okay? But I didn't throw it in everybody's face all the time. See what I did there? But hey, I have to ask, okay? So you guys like that little black metal intro I had to do there? Apparently it's a little confusing for some to see me, in the serpent's garb, serpent's light, serpent's whatever, and then listen to this podcast and they're just kind of this guy is not true. He's not true metal. Yeah, I know. That's fine. I mean, I'd like to say that my fucking music is considered a true metal, but it doesn't mean my fucking personality has to be that way, right? Can I have a little fucking personality? Huh? No, I mean, from what I understand, a lot of those European dudes, they are real deal Holyfield, but a lot of American black metal bands or metal dudes, look at Corpse Grinder. He's a fucking sweetheart. You can be a real person too, and then also flip that switch and have the other side of you pop up, right? Is that acceptable? What are Corey Taylor's thoughts on that? I wonder. Somebody's got to ask him. Speaking of Corey Taylor, we got to give you a little update on the Serpents happenings as per usual. We released our new zip-up hoodies on Monday, I think, last Monday, kind of the day after last podcast. It's one of our items on our upcoming winter line items. So we have a long sleeve for pre-order right now. We got a zip-up for pre-order right now. Each order helps pay for the actual manufacturing of said items. And being that we are a DIY band and blah, blah, blah. I know you guys heard this every podcast, but again, this is my platform where I can let everybody know what's going on. So yeah, if you guys want to pre-order a hoodie or a new long sleeve, please feel free to do so at weareserpents.bandcamp.com or weareserpents.com for the lazy, or head over to our Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you'll see all the links and goodness. We do have something else coming up, just based on the speed of sales right now. I'm kind of worried about doing this last item too quickly. So hopefully on the next podcast, I will unveil the last item of the winter line. I'm really excited about it. I think you guys are going to be really excited about it because I've personally been getting asked for like a long time about this one item. So I think keep a lookout if you guys have been hitting up my DMs for like the past 9 years about this one thing. So it's coming. It's coming. You know what else is coming? My best of 2019 album list. Super stoked. I'm going to be coordinating with a certain metal website on a playlist / top 25, I think it is, or top 10, top 25. I don't know. I usually do like something with a website where whatever they want, like depends if they say top 5 to whatever. But then I kind of make a Spotify playlist just so people can just listen to it and not read about it. So that's coming up pretty soon. But speaking of album of the year lists, don't forget Serpent's Temet Nose was also released this year in April. It is definitely not album of the year material. Maybe it is in my heart, but compared to all the other albums that came out this year, we don't stand a fucking chance. And being that we are an indie band, essentially, there's no way in hell, our album's going to be even fucking noted, which is fine. It's fine. I only spent 4 years working on it. Totally fine. However, that new Tool, I mean, come on, guys. Come on. The new Tool, the new Cattle Decap. I mean, I've been listening to that a lot lately. I didn't expect to really go all in on that new Cattle Decap. I loved the past pretty much ever since Humanure. But ever since dudes started like scream singing, I've been really into what they've been putting out. But this last album, I think it's called what is it called? Let me look it up. Cattle Decapitation. I think they're on tour right now too with Atheist and Vitriol. Vitriol is a fucking badass band, by the way. But the new Cattle Decapitation is called Death Atlas. It's fucking badass. If you haven't heard it and you like extreme music, I know there's a lot of just kind of podcast fans that just listen to this podcast that aren't really into extreme music. But for all you metalheads out there, check that fucking album out. Seriously. It's just like, it makes me want to fucking it makes me grit my teeth and just I want to punch myself in the fucking eye socket repeatedly when I hear it. Maybe you guys will have a different reaction, but at least for me, that's what it is. That's what it is. It is what it is. Sorry, guys. I just watched The Irishman recently. Fucking awesome movie. I know there's a lot of fanfare surrounding it, and there's a lot of controversy. Everybody's saying it's, the CGI in De Niro's face, or it's the worst movie, or fucking the leading, well, I don't know if you would call her leading lady, but somebody didn't have enough lines and blah, blah, blah. Hey, it's a fucking old school type of movie, and being that I'm 31, it kind of takes me back to the days of watching those kind of movies. So I'm all for it. Fucking cool movie. Check it out. Yeah, this is a movie podcast now. Just kidding. Another announcement for all of my California initiates, fans and friends, maybe family. I don't know. I'll be coming out for NAMM this year. It's a music convention. Very excited. I think it's in Anaheim. Let me look this up right here. Whoa, that is not NAMM. NAMM 2020. Yeah, it's like January 17th through the 19th. I don't know if it's like a public thing or if it's just kind of like an industry thing. Maybe I think you can buy tickets. I don't know. But I would love to hang out with anybody who wants to hang out. I'm going to be getting into some trouble as usual. So, or if you guys want to show me where the hot spots are in Anaheim, that's not fucking Disney related, you know? I know everybody, when they go to Anaheim, they straight up just go to Disney. That's not really my speed. I want to eat. I want to drink. I want to laugh. I want to fuck. I want to have a good time. Maybe Anaheim's not the place. Who knows? But I'm super excited to see all the goodies that all of the industry is going to produce next year. It's pretty much, for those who don't know what it is, it's pretty much like a convention, like a trade show. Would you call it a trade show? Not sure. Basically, it's everything that's coming out next year, or, you know, prototypes that are for sale. Like if I was representing Guitar Center, I would go there and I would look at somebody's invention. I'd be like, I want that in my stores. I'm going to order 50,000 units and blah, 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 blah. And my role in going is checking out all the stuff, representing the company that's let me in, and, you know, networking and partying with the homies. So I don't know. I'm really excited. As you guys can tell, I'm really excited. Plus, as I said earlier in this podcast, I'm really excited to get the fuck out of the cold. So if you guys have any restaurant recommendations or hangout spots or bars that aren't the Rainbow, fucking let me know. Also, if you guys have any questions for the podcast or recommendations, or you want your band featured on the podcast, send me a comment, message, whatever, tweet. Just do hashtag the 6M podcast. Oh yeah, and shout out to the Rainbow. That wasn't like a knock towards the Rainbow. It's just I've been there so many times, and I'm not opposed to going when I go over there. But I just want to try something else, see the other places everybody's hanging. Plus, I mean, come on, Lemmy, that was his hangout spot for those who don't know. And apparently some other people hang out there too. So, shout out to the Rainbow. You guys rule. Had a lot of fun over there. Pretty much whenever we would play down the street. I think the last time I was there, we played at the Whiskey A Go-Go. That was a while back. I don't think I've played in California in a hot minute since Defiler. So that was maybe 5 years ago. Hence why I think it would be really fun to see everybody out there. But such is the life of an explorer. I mean, that's what I would consider myself. You know, some occultists, they label themselves as truth seekers or other things, but I like to consider myself an explorer of sorts. I mean, not only in the physical sense, you know, like music, thankfully, has taken me all over the world, and I have a lot more to discover and see in terms of places and countries. But it's odd because the other night I was having a meltdown after listening to episode of Tiger Belly. It's a podcast, I think it's Bobby Lee and Kalila. They had Brian Callen on, and they were talking about like how life is a simulation. And I'm not going to get into that right here, just because I kind of want to keep this episode a little bit lighthearted. I don't want to bog down everybody with the occult theories or the conspiracy theories or the other stuff. The magic, so to speak, right? I was kind of having a meltdown, and I came to the conclusion that I've never had before, which is odd because I've done a lot of soul searching on this past album cycle. But I came to the conclusion that I'm an explorer in the musician sense, where I continue my journey in this industry as a musician or artist based on the thrill of uncharted territory, like an explorer. Now, a lot of people probably don't know what that even means, how to relate the two. But imagine sitting at your desk or my studio desk with a guitar in my hand and listening to a click. So a metronome. So like a tapping, like. Sorry. So imagine sitting there listening to that, fucking around on your guitar, fucking around on the piano, and then lightning happens. You get the lightning in the bottle moment. You get a riff. The power of the riff compels me. And a riff turns into two riffs. Then two riffs turn into half of a song. Then you get on the piano, jam a little bit on the piano. Then you do a little bit of drum ideas and blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, I mean, if you're doing it like me, you know, symphonic, whatever, or even not symphonic, who fucking cares? You build a little ecosystem, like a little world in the song. I mean, if you do it right, and this is my opinion, if you're making a song, you are building an atmosphere. You're setting the tone. You're setting the scene. Yeah? Back to movies. See what I'm doing? I don't know. Like, each song that I write is like a new world. I mean, it's simple as that. Like, I started at point A, then I got to point B, and point B is an entirely fucking different world. Now, an album is another world, but it's set up of different countries or nations, whatever the fuck, continents, whatever. That's an album to me. And since, holy shit, I mean, I don't know how many years I've been doing this now, but for me, the unknown is what keeps me going. I would have fucking killed myself a while ago if I didn't have the passion to find out what's tomorrow. I mean, hell, it could be my own undoing. Like, I could write the worst album I've ever wrote, or I could write the best album I ever wrote. Who knows? I don't know. It's just like Tinder, right? You just keep swiping. Maybe you'll land on a winner. Or maybe you'll land on your own doom. But the important part to remember is, hey, at least you showed up. And that's the most important part. Because if you didn't show up, nothing would happen. No improvement. No failure. But it's really, honestly, hard to do nothing, right? Because, in a way, our thoughts shape our reality. Our will to power, the word becomes alive, as the Christians say. And I know, based off of Facebook and the internet and the World Wide Web, you motherfuckers have a lot of thoughts. So it would be a crime, not only to society, but also to yourself, to not do anything with them. And I know some of you might be saying, nobody in my life is supportive. They all judge me. They make fun of me. They hate me. And you know what I say? I mean, this isn't a revelation, guys. Cut them motherfuckers out of your life. You attract what you are. If you are doing jack shit with your life, with your time, you are attracting other motherfuckers that are doing jack shit with your life or with their lives or their time. Simple as that. Misery loves company. Now, the fucked up part about it is, about life these days, is everybody's got their eyes on you, and damned if you do, damned if you don't. Either way, they're still going to be negative as fuck against you. Take it from me, your buddy Andrew here. People are going to fucking hate on you no matter what you do. Even if it's you fucking get a new car, or you get a new fucking girlfriend, or you get a fucking whatever, girlfriend, boyfriend, you're still fucked. So why be miserable? Just fucking make yourself happy. Don't worry about anybody else, and shape your own fucking reality. I mean, I know a bunch of you people have those fucking Blackcraft t-shirts, the ones that say whatever in regards to the reality. Fucking surround yourself with people who think like you do. And if you can't find anybody in your area, the internet. Use the internet. Everybody's got their hands out, writhing and reaching for some sort of connection. I mean, and if you can't fucking find anybody like that, then your boy, your buddy, Mr. Mikhail, he's here. And unfortunately, you can't talk back on this podcast, but you can always let me know. Hey, man, I know what you're going through. Hey, man, I'm going through the same thing. Because hell, I would love to know more people like me who are masters of their own realities. People who are moving and shaking, making moves. You know, if they don't like a situation, they're working positively to change it. If there isn't a song written that they want to hear, they'll write it to fucking not only please themselves, but to fucking better the world of music. It's simple. And this is not a revelation. And I don't mean to preach, you know, but that's another reason why podcasts, I think, are blowing up these days. Is because people are dying for a connection. And not a lot of people really know, I guess, like me. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to tell my stories. I'm just going to be myself. And if people like me for it, fucking cool. Then I got more friends now. Because you guys are hearing my personal fucking shit, my personal theories, whatever. We're friends. Obviously, don't do me wrong. Come on now. But I don't know. I just think it's such a fucking miserable time, man. And it's so much negativity. I mean, I was, again, listening to another podcast. I was just listening to people fucking argue for 2.5 hours. I was like, who cares? Who cares? Fucking do what you want. Don't hurt anybody else. And do it. You know, I know there's a bunch of people online in my community, the metal community, fucking arguing with each other over playthrough videos. Some of them are fake, some of them are not. Who gives a shit? If you're fucking watching a video, a playthrough video, appreciate it. If you don't like it, cool. That's fine, man. You guys are tearing each other apart over nothing. And then 5 years from now, everyone's going to go, oh, the metal community is so segregated. It's broken apart. It's blah, 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 blah. We need more people. You're fucking pushing people away with the bitching and arguing. Because then people go, man, this community is not for me. And by no means don't take my advice when I say, surround yourself with people who think like you. It's obviously healthy for a little bit of discourse or, debate. Don't surround yourself with people that, will only feed into every fucking thought you have, because then you have the echo chamber that you see online so much. But I hope you guys know what I mean when I say that. Surround yourself with people that will elevate you, not bring you down for nothing. Absolutely nothing. And like I said earlier, I've been out there and in the air for years, and people fucking tear me, people I've never met, and also people I've called friends will sit there and, call me fat, tell me I should fucking kill myself, or I should die. I should be killed because of my music. It sucks, or it's offensive, or whatever. I mean, I've heard everything since I don't even remember when. I'm numb to it. And I know a lot of you guys aren't used to that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, everybody is a public figure. Everybody's out there and making content and whatever, man. Good for you. But now here comes the hits, the old classics. They're going to fucking tear you apart. And people who aren't used to that are going to end up fucking hurting themselves. And everybody sits there and goes, how could this have happened? We need to put a stop. Hold on. I need to make a post about how we need to stop, we need to be aware of mental illness and this and this and this and this. And then the same motherfuckers years later are going to be doing the same shit because that's the community they're in. The cesspool of fucking cancer cells. Then everybody goes, what happened? Don't be like that. Don't be a victim, and don't turn into an asshole. There's a big lesson for the day, guys. Don't turn into an asshole. And I mean, people could sit there and say that I am an asshole, but in all actuality and truth, it's just people that just don't understand the path I'm on. That's my personal experience. People could call you an asshole for saying, hey, I don't want to drink tonight. I want to fucking, I want to work on my craft. I want to do this, or, I want to go to the gym. Oh, she's a fucking asshole. He's a prick, whatever. Fuck you, dude. I mean, that's how it is. And it's been like that for a long time. It's not going to change. The only thing that could change is the way you look at it. If it's really you looking at it. We live in a simulation. Honestly, do you guys really think that we're in charge of our own thoughts or our own mind, or do you think we're basically just like human vehicles? What are humans anyways? What is consciousness? Do you think somebody in a parallel universe is like just, hey, we need to fucking mine this planet for something later on that I don't even know what would happen? But they're like, hey, we need to get some bodies out there, but we really don't want to do the legwork. So, hey, can we get like a couple billion operators on this and just kind of handle this for a few years? That's what we are. Fucking avatars, bro. I don't know. And that's the thing is people really, you can't rule that out. You just can't rule that possibility out. I know a lot of people are cringing or laughing at the thought, but dude, anything is possible. They sit there and say, in all these parallel universes and alternate realities that every fucking alternate ending is happening as we speak. So what the fuck how is it so unbelievable that we could be just vehicles for other beings? At least, I mean, hey, if you subscribe to that thing, then hey, at least when you're dead, you're not really dead. You're just gonna go back home. Home is where you make it, guys. Home is where you make it. I don't know. I've just been ranting. This was kind of a fun podcast today. I'm in a good mood. I shouldn't be. There's a lot of troubles in my life, but I don't know. There's no fucking point in sitting there fucking bitching and dwelling on just the negative stuff. And if I can do it, I know for goddamn sure you guys can do it. I mean, we're not comparing fucking, apples to oranges here or whatever. I don't even know if I even said that phrase right. See, I'm all over the place today. But if something's going wrong in your life, you can change it. It might take some time. Just fucking hang in there. Stay strong and just remember, you are a god of some sorts. You are the operator in the vehicle, and a little friction is okay. That's okay. As long as you keep coming to the show. As long as you keep logging back in. That's what matters. 'Cause anything could fucking happen. And if it turns out bad for you, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here with me on this earth. I'll see you on the other side. But if things turn out good, you're going to say, wow, you're probably going to be doing seminars and be like, never give up, show up, and blah, 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 all that other motivational shit. But I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm just a dude who has been all over the world, seen all sorts of fucking civilizations thanks to music. And I'm like, it's really like what we make our lives to be. It's really not all it's cracked up to be right now. We are fucking focused on some bullshit. And you just gotta really go back to basics. Are you happy? Great. Keep doing it. If you're not, change it. Don't turn into an asshole. Again, do not turn into an asshole. Maybe that should be the title of this podcast. What do you guys think? I wonder if I could get away with that. Considering the podcast is on all the streaming platforms. But anyways, I've punished you guys enough. We have some questions today. We have more questions coming in hot from the internet. I'm going to go with the easiest one first. It's back from Evil Danny from the last podcast. She asks, what type of coffee? Wait, hold on. Let me read it so it's exact. Let me read it. How do you like your coffee? This might sound cliche, but I'm going to say black for fucking black metal. Fucking black metal. Fun fact. There was a coffee shop that I would frequent, my old house, and I actually had a signature coffee there. It was 6 shots espresso, water, large cup, boom. I call it the Dark Throne after the band Dark Throne, but also because you would shit your fucking eyes out when you're done. Really didn't happen to me, but a couple people that I know tried to do the same drink, and yeah, they fucking shit their souls out. So black coffee it is for me, whether if it's loaded with espresso or if it's just regular dark roast. I'm all about that. Second question is from Mr. William Finn, I believe my promoter friend from Indiana. He says, would you rather drink coffee filtered through your dad's dirty underwear or make love to Donald Trump? Well, considering my dad is a pretty clean guy, and anybody who's ever met him, the dude showers constantly, fucking always smelling fresh, and not to mention, hey, he's my dad, so it's kind of like the Origin Brew, copyright, versus making love to Donald Trump. Now, I don't know if it's specifically supposed to be a trigger because it's Donald Trump. I mean, I could care less. I'm not big on politics, or I'm not fucking slamming my head on the table over which liar is telling the least amount of lies, at least that I would know as a citizen. But making love is a weird word for me. Having sex with Donald Trump is a better question, Because if I was in your eyes making love, that wouldn't apply to me, because if I'm having sex with somebody I love, the love is already made. So the making love is silly, and it's something that needs to go away in American culture. Like the Puritan Pilgrim era of our ways is still very vibrant and alive in our culture. Prepare for Pence. So I wouldn't use that. I would have sex in front of Donald Trump. I mean, I've done that before. If being a touring guy, you kind of get used to having sex in front of other dudes, or having sex in front of people's boyfriends. But yeah, I don't know, man. I would rather drink coffee out of my dad's filtered underwear, just because I don't want to fuck another dude, I guess. So hopefully that answers your question. I love you, William. I hope Serpents can play in Indiana for you sometime soon. Another question comes from Al Slager, my spiritual guide, Mr. Slager, the Pied Piper of Crete. He says, are you going to have any other people on the podcast as a co-host or anything like that? I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I'm going to have my lady jump in on some funny stories from the dating world in our adventures together. I think that's about it. Just because I can't really rely on people coming here to do the podcast, and I don't know, I just feel like it would muddy the waters a bit. That's why I've been really trying to get you guys to ask some questions, just so I can kind of go off on the questions and kind of keep rolling with it, versus, constantly talking to myself. That's why I'm hoping more questions get asked, and then the more episodes happen, the more comfortable I can get with this stuff, and the more of these stories will start rolling out. But I'm not opposed to having guests, no. But I don't know if I'm going to have like a co-host on this thing. It's still early though. Never say never. I would love to have you on the podcast. Obviously, dude. Duh. And I think the people listening to this podcast would love to hear our stories together, from our stagehand days, and even from back in the Oceano days and onward. So that could be a possibility, but right now I don't have any plans to do that. So Ryan Saran, Mr. Forsworn himself. Wait, that one's gonna be the last one. Elijah from Mission Media says, what is one food you absolutely despise? Cum. Wait, does that count? Male cum. Male cum. One food I absolutely despise is lamb. I fucking hate lamb. I hate the taste of lamb. And I know a lot of people, they sit there and go, well, you've never had it prepared the way I do it, or you've never had this and this and that. I don't care. I don't like the taste. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know. Do any of you guys like lamb? Comment on the podcast. I want to know. Because I don't know, man. Wait. The only lamb I did have, I digress. Here we go, folks. The first retraction. The only lamb I did like was in Iceland at there's a really cool fucking like bar, I guess. Icelandic lamb soup restaurant. Let's search this right now. Oh, it's a place called Icelandic Street Food. It's in Reykjavik. Only place I've actually enjoyed it. Right there. Other than that, I can't stand it. I can't stand lamb. But if anybody's traveling to Iceland and they're looking for shit to do in Reykjavik, check out Icelandic Street Food, and then also check out the bar that the owner also owns. He's a fucking nice guy. At least I think he told me he was the owner, but he was also singing like 80s 80s US like hits. So he was a nice guy, invited us to the bar, hooked us up, rock and roll, baby. And the last question is from Ryan Saran. Who are some of your favorite bands or artists that you've met on your journey? Just start at number 2. We all know I hold the top spot. Oh, Ryan. Love you, buddy. I don't know, man. Like, a lot of bands that I've toured with or played with, I mean, I was either a fan before, I became a fan after. I don't know. Like, it's weird because you kind of end up looking at them like peers, and when, like, as a stagehand or as a touring musician, I've gotten to meet and kind of rub elbows, so to speak, with celebrities. I mean, what's his face from Maroon 5? Fucking, I was in the bathroom with the guy and people were like, oh my God. And I was just like, oh, he was a nice guy, So it really depends on, the meaning of the meeting. But one of the coolest experiences I remember, there was 2, was, oh shit, here's 3. Well, 2 of them consists of guys from Pantera. I remember one time, my first Vinny meeting, one of a few, rest in peace, Vinny Paul. He was at one of our shows in, maybe it was Texas, I think. It was House of Blues. And the second was touring in Soundwave in Australia. Oh, this is a fucking great story. I remember at the end of the tour, there was a kind of like a post-tour party set up for everybody on the tour. And I mean, the tour consists of, I think Green Day was headlining, like Alice in Chains, fucking Avenged Sevenfold, just so many fucking monster bands. I don't know how we even fit on. This is when I was in Defiler, but everybody kind of went to this little party thing where they emptied out a bar, whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but it basically, they turned this bar to, like, it pretty much looked like a Rob Zombie video. And oddly enough, Rob Zombie was on the tour. It kind of looked like you were in, like, one of those videos, and it was just fucking cool looking. Everything looked like demonic and retro, and there was dancers, and everybody was, well, not everybody was there, but I remember looking around, seeing fucking Chino from Deftones. I looked to my right at the bar. It was a singer of Alice in Chains. I really can't explain it because it was like overload. But I remember being at the bar and the dance floor was empty where the dancers were doing their show. And coming to the dance floor was Phil Anselmo, fucking just jamming, having a good time. And he was dancing by himself and, for a little bit, and everybody was kind of whipping out their phones and fucking recording it and, laughing and stuff like that. And I remember Big John was Light the Torch, or back then, Devil You Know. Yeah, Devil You Know. He was tour managing them, and he was like, look at this. He's like, that's one of the last fucking rock stars you're going to see. And I thought about it, and I was like, man, dude is fucking, everybody's just sitting there on their phones. And me and a few other people started heading to the dance floor. And I remember just like doo-wop dancing with like a couple of the guys from Mastodon, Jimmy Bauer, and Phil Anselmo, and like a bunch of people. And it turned into like, awkward moment into a fucking blast. And it was all because of Phil Anselmo. Eventually, I think somebody who was handling, I think it was Down that played, but somebody that was handling him was like, all right, we got to wrap this up. And then the party continued. Like, everybody started having a good time and whatever. But I think that was probably the most surreal moment, was just kind of like doo-wop dancing, and then somebody's grabbing my head and then kisses me on my fucking temple, and it's Phil. Which later on, I would meet Phil here and there. You know, I saw him at Spooky Empire last. But yeah, another really cool moment for me. I know it's kind of silly, but I remember Jim Root ended up being at one of our shows as well. And when I was younger, I really, really, really loved Slipknot. I loved Soulfly and Fear Factory, and, you know, insert a million bands after that. But like, I really loved those three bands when I was younger. And seeing Jim Root there, you know, watching my band at the time was really cool. But yeah, I mean, those are the only ones that like are popping in my head right now. Just that kind of grabbed me as like crazy moments. But I don't know. You never know. You never know what happens. I mean, shit. Like, I idolized Max Cavalera as a teen, from Soulfly to Nailbomb to Sepultura, and then next thing you know, I find out Max is a huge Oceano fan, and I think that was fucking crazy. I think like at that point I went full circle. I was just like, all right, I'm done. Like, dude is sitting there saying like, you know, we were an influence to one of their records, and here I am saying like, dude was an influence to like my whole career. It's crazy. Other than that, man, like, yeah, those are the top three that I was kind of like, no fucking way. I think that wraps up this podcast. It's gone on long enough. Like I said, this one was kind of more of a let's just roll with the punches, you know? If you guys, how about this? If you guys like more of this stuff versus the last podcast where it's a little bit more serious and occult based, and then like a bunch of other ranting, let me know. Comment. Obviously, if you guys can, please review the podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast. And obviously listen. I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably are listening already, so whatever. But yeah, it can go a long way. We're still in the baby steps of this podcast, so if you guys have any questions, please comment. If you guys want your band heard, please comment. Hashtag the 6M podcast. Other than that, follow Serpents, weareserpents.com, weareserpents.bandcamp.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/weareserpents. Serpents Metal at Instagram, We Are Serpents at Twitter. We're on YouTube. I mean, honestly, every fucking little bit helps. We've had a great year, but also in contrast to all the other bands and, you know, doing everything that they've been doing all year, like, we really need the help. We really need the help. If you guys want some merch, pick up a pre-order for the new hoodies, zip-ups. Like I said, it's not easy being in our position, you know, as an indie, whatever, DIY metal band for now. I hope that changes really soon. But every fucking bit helps. Just like this. Okay? So today, or on this episode, we're going to feature a band called Shrine of Malice. These guys just released the new album, Sheol. That's SHEOL. This fucking record is just, I don't know, man. It's brutal. It's, if you guys like deathcore, like, you know, the traditional deathcore, or like, you know, Thy Art Is Murder, Lorna Shore, you know, stuff like that, really dive into this band, check them out. A couple of these guys I remember from the Oceano days. They've been following pretty much all the bands I've been in, which is fucking like, I cannot thank people enough for sticking with me for all of these years and like still, I don't know, being interested in what I'm doing, you know? So I really appreciate their loyalty to me, and the least I can do for them is to feature them on this episode. So I hope good things come for you guys. I hope people enjoy the track. It is called The Left Hand, and you can find them on Facebook at Shrine of Malice or on Instagram at Shrine of Malice. That's SHRINE of MALICE. So I hope you guys enjoy this track, and I hope to see you next week on another episode of Mr. Mikhail's Manner of Mischief, Magic, and the Mystery.
Must be paid for mankind through to healthy.